Hello guys, and welcome back to Coloring with Haley. Today I'm doing another tag video, and it is the mid-year tag. I was tagged by Michelle from Kits and Caboodles. Thank you so much for tagging me. I have been looking at this tag and other people doing it, and I was like, ooh, I wouldn't do this tag. It looks fun. And it's a good time for it because July has been so busy that I haven't had a lot of time to sit down and kind of film anything for you guys. So there are 10 questions for this tag, and I'll make sure that I put them in the description below so anyone else that wants to do this can see all the questions. But the first question is the best picture you've colored so far in 2021. I had to think about this one a little bit. I've colored a lot of pictures in 2021, but I think my personal favorite, or what I would call the best page, is the mermaid I did out of here for Mermay. I couldn't do a normal mermaid page, of course. I wanted to do something a little different. So I've done this girl. I guess she's sort of like an alien mermaid because she is like half humanoid-ish, kind of, but she has like fins for fingers and still has fins coming off her face and everything. So I suppose she's not like a person fish. She's more like an alien fish type mermaid. Michelle went back to her Instagram and like looked at what page people had liked the most on her Instagram, but I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a little bit too lazy to do that. So I just went and picked the page that I liked best that I did, and I know you guys commented a lot on this one, and you guys did like this one. And I'm pretty proud of how it came out as well, because I used a lot of paint on this page. So I used the Ohuhu markers primarily, and I'm sure I used a couple of Cali Art markers. My set's kind of starting to diminish, so I use up some of them when I can. You know, like if I have a little space, since a lot of them are getting dry, I'll use them on little spaces. But like the bigger open spaces were definitely the Ohuhu markers. And of course there is a healthy amount of glitter on this. It's on the headpiece that she's wearing, and it's also on her necklace, and it is on the jewels that she is wearing too. And all of this down here, this lighter green, is paint. And I did that as the waves and ripples in the water. Since I decided that she was an alien mermaid, I did this like an alien planet, so the sky is yellow and the water's like a bright green color. But I would say this is definitely the best so far. You guys know I've done a lot of the Chibi Girls Grayscale book, but I'm just really, really fond of how this one from Chibi Horror turned out. So I've got to say, that's my best page in my opinion. And then the next question is, what is your most colored in book of 2021? That's going to be an easy one, and you're going to see a bunch of tags in it that I have for pages of color this month, and that is the World of Mice book. It was one of my 10 books to finish, and it's probably the one I've done the most in because I think color by number books are a little bit easier to complete than like pick your own color books, because sometimes I just sit down and think about the colors I want to do in a book where you pick your own colors, and of course in a color by number book you don't have to. You don't have to think about it, you know, you can just color it even while you're doing something else, like watching TV or watching YouTube or something. You know, you can work in a color by number book. For me, I can't do that with other books. I kind of have to concentrate on them. So I have finished the most pages in this. I usually try to do 2 a month, but there have been some months where I've done 3 a month, so for that reason, I've done the most out of this one, out of all of the 10 books to finish. You've seen me do 2 pages a month out of several of them, but for this one, I have done 3 pages a month, a couple of months in a row now, so it's certainly got the most by just a little bit. Definitely not too much ahead of the others, but just a little bit ahead. And I just use my Sharpies and Bic markers in these color by number books because, I don't know, it works for me, you know, it doesn't really call for any exotic colors or anything ever. So just using that. I know that the only color I use in this that's not in the Sharpies and Bic markers is peach. I do use a Cali Art marker for that just because, I don't know, I couldn't find a nice, like, peach Sharpie, in my opinion. There's not a good one. But you guys have seen a lot of pages out of this. I've been working on it since last year, and actually, I am pretty close to finishing it. We will see. I think I have. Here's the next page I have to do, which we're on the ones that go this way now. So 1, 2, and I did this one already on Christmas. I tried to go in order, but if there was a holiday that I knew was in here, I just skipped ahead and did it. So 3, 4, 5, 6. So I just have 6 pages left. And now that'll either be 2 or 3 months, depending on if I do 2 pages a month or 3 pages a month. As you can see, I did 3 this month in here. So that's definitely my most colored in book, and I really do like it. I enjoy it. I'll get the rest of their stained glass color by number books. I just wanted to finish this one first. And the next question is a newly released coloring book that you haven't colored in yet, but want to. So, the one that I haven't colored in yet, but really would like to, is the Decora Anime Girls by Coco Wayo. And I did a full flip through of this and showed it off to you guys. It can be pretty detailed. It's mostly portraits, but there are a few where it's like the full body of the girl. And you guys know I really love doing portraits, especially ones like this that have so many little fun details going on all over the girl herself. I just haven't had the time to sit down and color in it, because it is, you know, it's quite a bit more detailed than some of the other books that I've bought this year. And I just need the time to really sit down and focus on what I'm doing, because like I said, there are so many little parts in this, and that is part of the Decora style, of course, all the accessories, but I mean, look at this. She's wearing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bracelets, 3 necklaces. Look at all the berets in her hair and everything. You kind of gotta, like, concentrate on every little detail here. So I haven't done anything in here yet, but I really, really do want to. And the next question, question number 4, was the most anticipated release for the second half of the year. And now I don't really follow some of the artists that some of you guys follow, like George Tufexis or Hannah Carlson or anything like that. I follow more like Coco Wayo and Jade Summer, and they tend to release books very last minute. There's no like, oh hey, we're gonna put out this book at the end of the year or anything like that. But Deborah Muller did say the titles of her Halloween books for this year, and they are Hauntingly Beautiful, Victorian Witches, Gothic Fairies, and The Pumpkin Patch. So I'm definitely excited for all 4 of those. But those are kind of the only books that I know of that I want releasing in the second half of the year. Like I said, I'm sure Coco Wayo and companies like Jade Summer will put something out that I want, but they just don't announce it in advance. So the favorite new artist or publishing company that you discovered in 2021 is a tie, I think, between Larisa May Marianas. I believe that's how you say her name. It's either Larisa or Larisa. I'm really not sure. And Coco Wayo. You've seen me buy a bunch of books from these two. Well, I think Coco Wayo is definitely a publisher, and I believe Larisa is an artist themselves. So you've seen me buy a bunch of books from these two lately. Coco Wayo has been knocking out of the park for me with their chibi and anime books. I really enjoy them. And Larisa has all different sorts of books. She did the Pastel Goth, Creepy Kawaii. She's got this lovely ramen animals book. It's just a bunch of animals eating ramen noodles, and I love ramen noodles. It is super cute. And she even has some chibi girl books herself, but I wasn't too into how she draws chibis. I'm more into her other books. But it would be very hard for me to pick between one of these two. And I know Coco Wayo definitely, like, I'm pretty sure came out this year. But Larisa may have been publishing books last year, not certain. But these are definitely my 2 favorites that I have discovered. And I am very glad to have discovered them. Did you try any new coloring techniques this year? Not particularly. Let me see if I can find an example in this book. You know, the newest thing that I started doing, I don't really know if it's a technique or not, but I started doing more of the simple images like this, where I kind of outline the lighter color in a darker color. And I don't really know if you could call that a technique, because it's something, you know, so simple. But I haven't really veered away from what I normally do. I've always used a lot of paint and a lot of glitter in my pictures, always been more of a marker person. So I haven't really tried anything like big or groundbreaking, I guess I would say. You know, just kind of simple stuff. I have started using this more because I've bought a lot more books that are, you know, simple. I guess not really a technique, but I learned that I really enjoy coloring more simple images with markers rather than more intricate ones. Of course, I just showed you the Decora book, which has a lot of intricate pictures in it, and I do enjoy coloring those from time to time. But I think this year I learned that I like coloring simpler images more, and I guess for me, the simpler images don't scream for any kind of advanced technique or anything like that, really. You know, they just look good when you just kind of color them. So I haven't really learned any new techniques. And number 7 is What book do you want to finish the most this year? I think that one will be obvious if you've been watching for a long time. I just spilled my markers in the background. That's what that noise was. I had the book sitting on top of the markers. Okay. So the book I want to finish the most this year is Jade Summer's Chewy Girls Grayscale, 2 books in 1, 50 pages. I have not yet done the very first page, so there we go. But I have done a lot. I've been working in this book since, like, 2018. I've been working in this book a long time. And when the 10 books to finish tag came out last year, I was like, I have to put this book in there, and I have to finish it. Because there's not an image in here I don't like. I love coloring the Jade Summer Grayscale. You know, it looks just so good with your alcohol markers, even if you use cheap ones like Sharpies. It just works so well, in my opinion. And I was like, this has to be one of the books that I finish. And I am determined, if I finish no other books out of the 10 books to finish category, I am determined to finish this one. This one will be finished. You will see this finished. I work in it every month, usually 2 pages. Here's an example of a really old one that I did probably in 2019 or 2018. I never date mine, but I know this one is rather old. This little witch girl. There are a couple uncolored ones here at the front. Let's see if I can find another one for an example. Here we go, the mermaid. This one's a little complicated. This is probably the one I'm going to do last. Like, I kind of have these planned out in my mind, which ones I want to do, which months. There's a few here at the front. Some of them are more in the back that I haven't done yet. Let's see. I know I haven't done the girls' pillow fighting, and I think I want to do that one next. Let me find it. It is in here in the back somewhere. This one, Jade Summer featured on their Facebook page, which I thought was really cool. This one was fun to do. You guys saw that one recently. There we go. I haven't done this one. Haven't done the girl in the... I don't know, I guess she's in like a palace or a temple, perhaps. And I haven't done another one back here. Yeah, the firefighter. There's really not too many that I haven't done, and it'll, like I said, it's going to be finished because it's the one that I am, like, absolutely 100% determined to finish this book this year. I want to finish it because I love it and it's been fun to color in, but also because I really want to move to the Kawaii Grayscale, the 2-in-1. I have that before they took it out of print. You know, you have to buy this book. Lost my voice there for a second. Ooh. You have to buy this book as the 4-in-1 now if you want all of them together, unfortunately. But I do have the Kawaii one. I want to do that next. Like, that'll be my next book that I want to work on to finish, you know, next year and everything. But for sure, this book, and for those of you wondering why it is spiral bound, I've actually colored in it so much and had it for so long that it started to fall apart on me. So I went to Office Depot and it had it spiral bound, and it was very cheap. I think it was like $5. So if your books kind of start to fall apart because they've been used so much, that is an option. Of course, I know some people know how to do the spiral binding at home, but I am not crafty enough for that. So that is my book that I absolutely have to finish this year. Have you completed any coloring books this year? No, I have not yet done that. Like I said, you will see some complete. Definitely the World of My Soul, and definitely this one. And another one I know that I'll be completing this year for sure is the Whimsy Girls Celebrate the Holidays by Hannah Carlson, because we're all doing that color along, kind of like Coloring Diva started a big color along with, I don't know, I'd say most of YouTube's been working in it. Every month we do the pages for the holiday that coordinate to that month. And I'm all caught up with that, so you'll definitely see that as another one completed, but no, I haven't completed one yet. But you will see it done. Is there any coloring book you bought this year that you regret? I have to say no. I thought about this question a lot, and you guys see that I talk with my hands a lot, I know. I haven't regretted any books that I've bought this year. I started being more careful about the books that I buy on Amazon because I didn't want to waste money, you know, and I have a whole stack of books I need to unhaul. And I stopped at the Coloring Heaven subscription. I mean, they were a great subscription to have. It was just that I felt like I was getting too many books that weren't something that I was personally interested in, and I don't want to pay for it if I'm not interested in it. You know, when they put out books that I am interested in, like their new Care Bears one, I could just buy that online and have it shipped to me, rather than paying for one every month that I may or may not like. So, I started being more careful with how I was spending money on books, and so I try to stick to publishers that I know I like Deborah Muller and Jade Summer. I kind of went out on a limb with the Coco Wyo thing because they were new, but their books looked really interesting, and I can like say now they're like a safe publisher to buy from. They've got good books, you know, no stolen images, none of the clip art or anything like that. So yeah, I really can't think of a book that I've regretted buying at all. I guess I got lucky this year that I haven't bought anything from Amazon that like was full of stolen art or, you know, copyrighted images or anything like that. So yay! No regrets so far, and I don't think I will have any. And if I could recommend one book that was released this year, what would it be? I think you won't be shocked by the choice of publisher. It's Coco Wyo. And I think if you're going to get into this publisher, give their Chibi Girls book a try. It seems like this year in particular, I've always liked the Chibi Girl pages, obviously, since I've been working in the Jade Summer book since it, like, released. But, it seems like this year in particular there's been, like, a Chibi Girl craze. A bunch of publishers have put out their own Chibi Girls books. And I'm seeing more YouTubers and more people on Instagram color Chibi Girl pages, and I think that this Coco Wyo one is my favorite out of all the Chibi Girls books ever published. They just have such nice images in them. I mean, they're adorable. They've got nice thick lines. Here's one that I've done, for example, with nice open spaces, so that makes them good for markers. They do have the back blacking on them, so if it does come, you know, curved a little bit, I just set them under something heavy, and you can see that it's pretty straight after it's been set under something heavy, because they almost always curve. But the artist that does their chibi stuff just does a phenomenal job. I know some people aren't a fan of the blank eyes. They don't bother me. You could always draw in your own eyes. I just think if you are looking for a Chibi Girls book, you want to get into drawing and coloring the chibi style, this is like the perfect one to go for. It's definitely the book that came out this year that I would recommend to anyone. And it's really cheap too. It's a good price on Amazon. You know, Coco Wyo, the Amazon paper of course is cheap, but they price their books very, very fairly, I think. Here's the page from the cover. We'll take a look at some of the ones in the back. It doesn't have any doubles at all. It's 50 unique images, so that's another selling point for such a cheap price. The images are all actually unique. There are no repeats. I think it's got something in it for everyone. There are a few holiday pages. I know for sure there's like a Christmas page. Let me see if I can find an example of a holiday page. Well, I said they're in here and I know they are, but of course it's going to be like a page that takes me forever to find, naturally. Like here's a kind of a summer themed one. Let me go back. There you go. And there's a Valentine's Day one at the front. Here's more of what I would consider like a Halloween one because she's dressed up as a ghost. Valentine's Day. Let's see. I know Christmas is in here somewhere because I've looked at it and thought about coloring it. There's another one you could do for Halloween, The Witch. Okay, maybe I already passed Christmas. Yeah, there we go. Here's the Christmassy themed one. So it's kind of got, like I said, a little bit of everything. You know, your holiday pages, just your cute pages, a bunch of cute animals, too, along with the girls. This is definitely the book that I would recommend, and I feel good recommending to anyone. I've got a full flip through of it if you're interested. Definitely check it out if you're into the Chibi Girls, though, or interested in getting into them. These are easy to color as well, so I feel like anyone at any skill level could color these, and, you know, even if you're like a more advanced colorist, you could turn this into something really cool, I think. So this is the book that, yeah, I would totally recommend, and it's just Coco Wyo's Chibi Girls. I think now, if you buy the book, it has a red bar here that says Coco Wyo rather than it being in the corner. They, like, updated the cover of it, but it's the same book, don't worry. So, those are my answers to the tags. It's a little bit late for mid-year, but, oh well, it works, you know? And you guys know that I'm weird about tagging people. I don't know, I'm just awkward. So, anyone who wants to do this, like I did, you can say that I tagged you, and thank you so much to Michelle for tagging me, because I've been secretly like, ooh, I hope somebody tags me for this one, I want to do this one so bad. So I was super happy to see that you had tagged me to do this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. I like doing these tag videos. Let me know what you guys think of them.